Well, good morning everyone. Rod Cullerton. We'll take two on this one, and I apologise for that because everything just went bizarre on my computer. But I just want to recap. Like I said, recap. I want to take the Australian people with me, and it's simple. It's simply because the matter that has been referred to the Australian Federal Police by the Australian Electoral Commission. We've yet to find the persons who have made the complaint. In other words, the people that work for these organisations who are the controlling mind, and the Australian Federal Police have yet to tell me who that is. However, as always, I record everything, and I've told the Australian Federal Police as we go forward, I record everything. That is my right over this alleged offence, over a breach of Section 44. They claim the Australian Constitution, not the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 UK. I'm going to play the recording that I received yesterday, so just bear with me, and I'm trying to bring it through the Bluetooth, so here we go.
Okay, so I've got the summons here, and I was just hoping there might be a time that we can meet up and I can hand it over.
Okay, this is a phone call that I received on a private phone number yesterday by a Australian Federal Police officer. Goes by the name of Gabriel. Okay, so let's hear that again. Okay, far away.
Okay, so I've got the summons here, and I was just hoping there might be a time that we can meet up and I can hand it over to you. That's all.
Okay, happy to comply, but you still haven't answered my email.
Oh, sorry.
And the other thing too is, how does Kevin told me that he wasn't going on extended leave at all. He told me that he is going to be the authorised person who enlivens the prosecution notice. Okay, so that was a previous recording. You probably would have seen that. I actually have got a copy of that recording. If I get time today, I'll play it after it. But so in fact, what's happened is, it appears the prior police officer, Kevin Lawmans, has gone on extended leave. Now, he did not inform me prior to taking up any interview, which I consented to. He did not indicate to me that he was going on extended leave. In actual fact, he gave me his mobile number and said at all material times I could contact him. So all of a sudden, I've held Mr. Lawmans to account, and now he's vacated, and we have a new player on the chessboard, and I'll continue on.
So Kevin is on leave?
Yeah. Okay. She confirms Kevin's on leave.
And so there's a new notice which I have signed.
Okay. There is a new summons. What was wrong with the old summons? So all of a sudden, all the paperwork's got to be changed, and there appears to be a new summons that has been created by a new authorised officer. Okay? Right, so you now have to show me where you're duly appointed to enliven a Crown matter, because this... Okay, so what has to happen to enliven a Crown matter, because this is under Section 44 of the Australian Constitution, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 UK, which we all know as the founding great deed of this great nation, to set the game in that jurisdiction. The person, whether corporate or a non-corporate soul, must show royal prerogative or any act that they are relying on, that could be their appointment to become a police officer, has in fact received royal assent in order to become law. I mean, that is the role of federal senators when they go to a Commonwealth Parliament, and I suppose part of the role if they go to an Australian government. But we'll get, for the purpose of, we've got to play in their pen. Okay, so let's hear it go now. Is Section 44 of the Australian Constitution Act 1900 UK. So you have to be...
Or, Mr. Colleton, what I need to do is provide you with a copy of this document.
No. So straight away, there's concerns raised because it appears, because she refers to me as... Sorry, I'll make sure I'm coming through clear on my microphone. She refers to me as Mr. Cullerton. That is not my name. My name is Rodney Norman, and that's how I must be referred to. So I straight away said that I'm not contracting to her, okay? Because once you start contracting to your surname, you're under Australian law. Hang on, Gabriel, don't listen. Gabriel, I'm not listening. Listen, you have been sent an email. If you think that I, as a duly sworn Crown public officer, which I am, you can go and check up on the portal of the Australian Senate, okay, if you think that I'm going to entertain, I need to make sure,
What I'm going to do, Mr. Cullen, is I'm going to...
No. She's getting flustered, and she's going back. She did say Rodney, and then all of a sudden she needed to get the upper hand and go back to Mr. Cullerton. I'll let you go. Name's not Mr. Cullerton. Okay, I'm going to hang up. If you're not going to talk to me properly and refer to my name as Rodney, my name is not Mr. Cullerton, and I've told Kevin that. I'm not contracting with you. My name is Rodney. Okay, otherwise I'll end the phone call. I'm not interested. And you need to respond to that email. Okay, I need to know that you are authorised to empower a summons to go into Crown jurisdiction, because that's where you've got to go. And unless you show that, I'm not interested in taking anything. Okay, I'll end the call. Okay, you go. Otherwise I'll do a quo rento on you.
You'll do what? Sorry? I missed that last bit.
I will do a quo warrento, which a quo rento takes an officer, a quo rento takes an officer to court to show...
Perhaps, Rodney, you can send me the email again.
Yeah, I'll send you the email again, Gabrielle, and I need that answered. I'm not entertaining in any fraud or falsehood, I can tell you that right now.
So what you're saying is you're not willing to accept this summons from me at this time?
Well, I'm not saying that at all. Don't put words into my mouth. You have a notice which was agent to principal, principal to agent.
But what you're saying at the moment is...
No, I'm not getting into any argument. I'm not making any judgment. I'll resend you the email, and then you're supposed to be the authorised officer empowering the summons or the prosecution notice. Is that right?
I have signed the summons, correct.
Right, so Kevin Lawman... Okay, now there is a new summons. Kevin Lawman's now out of it. They purport to be... Gabriel purports that Mr. Lawman is still the case manager. I find that hard to believe, because no case manager really can go on extended leave or whatever whilst matters are fresh, ready to commence the proceedings. And I will say this, well, look, I'm happy for this to go to trial. I want it to go to trial because it'll sort out the alleged bullshit bankruptcy. And I'm also going to be summoning all members of the 45th Parliament to deal with Motion 163, which is about why the Australian government is sitting under a corporate queen and not under our true queen, as Clause 2 of the Commonwealth Constitution Act 1900. So, unfortunately, this lady, or this person, okay, is trying to, in her doing business as a Australian Federal Police officer or member, there's a big difference, is trying to contract with me. So we'll go again. Hang on, stop. Don't go long-winded. Okay, there you go. She made the admission that she was a member of the Australian Federal Police. She didn't say she was an authorised police officer of the Australian Federal Police. She's a member of the Australian Federal Police. Well, like I said, there's a big difference. They've got to make sure that we know who we're dealing with. What person, are we dealing with? So here we go again. Don't go long-winded.
I'm not saying I'm saying I'm a member of the Australian Federal Police.
There you go, second admission. She went to say, well, I think I need to take that back a bit, because she nearly went to say, I'm not an officer, I'm a member of the Australian Federal Police. So let's just listen to that carefully again.
Police.
Don't go long-winded on this. Don't go long-winded.
I'm not saying I'm saying I'm a member of the Australian Federal Police. And as such, I can sign this summons, and that's all I can tell you.
Okay,
If you're not willing
so
to
what
accept
jurisdiction...
the summons,
Well, that's hearsay. As such, I can sign. Okay, but she didn't say she can authorise, but I suppose if she's signing, she's authorising. Big difference here. You got to listen to what they have to say. This is engaging in a good, well, it's supposed to be a lawful process. Jurisdiction. What jurisdiction are you going into for the prosecution?
well, you need to ask that question formally in an email, and just send it to me, please, so I can respond to it.
Okay, I've already done that. And that's where I said notice of agent to principal, principal to agent. I've already done that. So now this is what happens. They change the pawns on the chessboard. So you're only guilty of an alleged crime if, in fact, you become knowledge of that crime. Then I guess it's what they call mens rea. So, because I tell you what, I'm only interested in doing things according to law. Anyway,
police officer.
It's a big deal.
With
Big
the
deal.
Australian Federal Police.
Big deal. I'm not.
And
So
I am authorised to sign this summons, which I've done so.
okay. Now you are authorised to. Okay, there's the statement. Now she's made a statement to say that she is authorised. She's come out and said she's a police officer, and she's authorised to sign the summons. The word we need to put in front of it is duly authorised to sign the summons under the prerogative powers of our law. Simple as that. You're making a statement that you are duly authorised to empower these proceedings. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. If you notice, I threw in duly authorised and threw the positive question back to her, to whereby she stated, yes, she was. So that is a statement of fact, and that gives grounding to a quo rento, which is show us your authority. You know, one that there can be no presumption of the existence of power. Whoever asserts such power must be affirmatively shown to have been granted that power. And the only way you can get that power is through the foundation law of the Commonwealth, okay? And I'll take that. Now, what we do is I write to you and you need to show me the evidence, because I have presumption to say that you're not.
What would you like me to show you? I can
Well,
show you
I'll send you, because...
my identification.
Hang on.
Show you
No. I'll put that...
AFP. Tell me what you'd like me to show you, and then...
It'll all be set out in my email, everything in writing, okay? Mm-hmm. And you're going to be fully compliant, because Kevin... I'm a bit disappointed that Kevin's now removed himself from the prosecution, and now
no, he hasn't. He has not at all removed himself from the prosecution.
Well, that's a false statement. He has removed himself from the prosecution. It's because they've created a new document, and he no longer is the signing authorised, duly authorised, whatever, purported or otherwise. So that's a false statement out of the police.
That's the case officer for this job.
Well, then how may that be when he signed the other one and now you've signed it? So that's a nonsense.
They have a time limit on them, and that's it. They've got a time limit. We have to have this copy to you by a
I'm not sure
time.
of that. Under what act does it say that?
Well, because it gives you a date to attend court, so we have to...
Well, I went to court. I went to court and you weren't there.
But you didn't accept the summons at that point. You hadn't... And so we
No, you said to me...
It's fair we're trying to be fair to you to make sure you have enough notice to attend court.
Okay, stop.
And
First of
you
all...
had to respond to it. We didn't feel like we had confirmed with you that you knew what the date was.
Oh, Gabriel, you go... Now that is an absolute nonsense. I would not have travelled 8 hours back to Perth to attend court when they were doing a no-show. That is absolute nonsense, and in actual fact, I conditionally accepted service of the documents subject to being put into the correct jurisdiction. This thing long-winded. Okay, please. Let me tell you something. If we're going to get anywhere, first of all, we need to discuss.
What I would like to do is
hey, can you let me speak? Can you let me speak, Gabrielle? Can you let me speak?
And you have to sign this document,
Gabrielle.
so that we know you're going to turn up to the court. So please send me the email.
Gabrielle.
Please send me the email, and then I will.
Gabrielle, do not speak over the top of me. Okay? What you have to do, subject to your summons being lawful and proper, right? And that will. You have to discuss with me what my available dates are, and I need to discuss with you what your available dates are, because at the moment I've been barraged with quite a lot of other proceedings, right? So the point is we need to sensibly sit down, but I need to do what they call a de facto quo rento, which I'm well within my rights. You're bringing the claim against, you're saying who's the controlling mind who made the complaint? Can you tell me that?
I need this. Just please send it to me in writing.
Okay, because who is the controlling mind? So is it Andrew Johnson in his role as Chief Legal Officer of the Australian Electoral Commission making the complaint? Because the Australian Federal Police have said that the Australian Electoral Commission have made the complaint. Well, if you look up the Australian Electoral Commission, it is a corporation with an ACN number or ABN number, whatever, registered with ASIC. How may that have a set of lungs and a voice box? That is just absolute nonsense. So here we go. We go back again. No, is it Andrew Johnson? Is it Andrew Johnson at the AEC? Is he the controlling mind that has made the complaint? Chief Legal Officer?
I don't understand where you're getting controlling mind.
Well, because Kevin told me the Australian Electoral Commission had made the complaint. Well, that's nonsense, because that's a corporation. Who's the controlling mind? Who's made the complaint?
Please send me the email, and I'll respond to that, because it's getting a little bit complicated. I need some time.
Okay, no, good. Getting a bit complicated. It's my ass on the fry pan here, so let's see how it's finished. You need to research what you're doing, because it's your claim, you're bringing it, you're coming to me, and I need to make sure everything's lawful and proper, okay?
Okay, are you still living in Williams? Is that the best?
Yeah. I better not put that on there, but there you have it. So far, it's sort of got wind in the sails. Perhaps with a bit of luck, it has. But it's a pivotal case, because it's now bringing everyone into the mud pit. Well, potentially bringing everyone into the mud pit, as long as we can get into Crown jurisdiction. So what I'm also going to do is just let you know, I'm going to turn this around and just show you what I have been doing. Okay, so what I have here is a book. I'll just turn that around so it's not making a reflection. But there's the book. It's the, just turn that around like that and push that back a bit as I'm all trying to get. So this is the Jubilee. Right, so what we want to do is we need to, well, it's good. So you can see me there in the background, so that's okay. I mean, this is my so-called, okay. So as we turn over, I want to read out this part, and I'm going to take you with it, and I hope you can follow me. So this was a statement from the Parliament House, Canberra. On January 1st, 1951, Australia will celebrate 50 years of nationhood. You just have to bear with me, because I'm hopeless with these glasses at long distance, and I'm trying to read through the iPhone. In keeping with the importance of this great occasion, the Commonwealth government, not the Australian government, the Commonwealth government, in association with the governments of the Australian states, is organising nationwide celebrations. These will extend over the whole of 1951, which will be recognised as Jubilee Year. It will recall to mind a number of important events and will be a notable period in our history. Hear, hear. I like that. We may well be proud of the achievements of the people of Australia. Not persons, people, in many fields over the half century. In particular, our people have borne burdens in 2 wars, and our fighting men have established an unsurpassed tradition of valour. Today, we look forward to the enormous tasks, responsibilities, and opportunities ahead of us. In facing these challenging things, the past 50 years of Australian history should be an inspiration. Okay. Everything depends upon the strength of our faith and purpose. Hear, hear. Okay. Our Jubilee year 1951 should be a time of high resolve. Now, this is the kicker. We must not fail the founders of the Commonwealth of Australia. More importantly, we must not fail in our duty to those who are to come. Robert Menzies. Okay, I can't say that strong enough. We have a duty for our future generations, and that's what keeps me going. But here's another one here. You're going to like this little baby. It says, representing the people. This is in Western Australia. And I'll take you to this one. It says the constitutional framework. And we go down here. Bear with me, this is quite difficult. Oh, here we go. Parliamentary government in Western Australia continues in an environment in which a significant proportion of the electorate admit at best to having very limited knowledge of the constitutional framework within which their parliamentary representatives acquire and utilise the authority to make crucial decisions affecting their lives. I mean, this is why I do what I do. I'm sorry. This is why I do what I do. We have to come together. We're not under our law. This is disgraceful. We have a bunch of usurpers in the parliament. We have police officers or police members jumping around saying, well, this is all above my pay grade. I guess I keep saying the question, the laws that are being imposed on us today, have they received royal assent? I mean, that's the underlying question. And I have another senator, former federal, come in and support myself and Len Harris. So the important procedures of what is happening in this country, to whereby I've just read it out. We have a duty for our future generations, and we don't want to be the generations that sat idle and allowed this great country to be taken right from under our nose. That is just not going to happen. So when you turn around and say if anyone's applying a law, just simply ask, has that, there's a prohibition, which they call a constitutional guarantee. You can go and look it up. I want everyone to get off the live stream today and Google it. Go to Constitution Act 1889, Western Australia. Go to section 2, go to subsection 3, and it says, if any act does not receive Her Majesty's royal assent. Now, Her Majesty is in the Interpretation Act of Western Australia. You can go into section 5, go down to Her Majesty, and if it ain't in the Queen of the United Kingdom, it ain't law. And if you have no law, how may that law apply to us? And that certainly goes to the Health Management Act of 2005, because as a former federal senator, the law clearly made the claim to me that the Commonwealth fell away in 1973 through the actions of Whitlam, and the states fell away from our constitutional guarantees in 1986 through the creation of a corporate queen known as Queen of Australia, putting us under Australian law, and certainly the Citizenship Act putting us onto a different, within a different jurisdiction, removing us as subjects and making us citizens. Now, that is what the law not told me, showed me, well and truly, after, very, very thorough scrutiny by myself and my team whilst in Parliament. And I came out and said the state of Western Australia, however they want to do it, you cannot be a state if you're not under the Constitution. We only became states at federation. So it all goes back to federation, and we as Australians have got to stand tall and keep supporting, I guess, what I'm doing. We are getting, we've already established our legal administration team, and we are taking genuine steps to go back under our rightful law, because there is nothing that is operating within Australia. Certainly Treasury must be very concerned over my live streams on how they continue to do business around the world, when in fact we're not under the Commonwealth. And we've seen, the effects of ScoMo, who claimed to be the Prime Minister of Australia, wasn't the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Australia, and the so-called Governor-General, who basically, can put extra players on the field to make sure he wins the game. I mean, it's just a joke. And I mean, we all sit back and go, oh yeah, well, it's all happening, but we don't do anything about it. Well, we are. So I'm just, through these live streams, making it very, very clear to people that they can come along and experience what's happening. So I'll keep you further updated with what's happening with the Australian Federal Police. And like I said, I want it to go. I want it to go in a Crown jurisdiction, and I'm calling all the 45th the members of the 45th Parliament as witnesses, and why they haven't dealt with Motion 163 when it clearly says a motion raised in the House must be dealt with and shall be dealt with before any other business. So the Parliament could not go forward 1st of December 2016 because Motion 163, calling the authority of the Australian Government, is still in question and has not even part heard, and it's a successful motion which was seconded by Jackie Lambie. So, well, there you have it. I'm just bringing what I was taught in a very highly regarded position. I'm just bringing it as a right of duty to the Australian people, but more particular to the people of Western Australia. God bless, and we'll keep you updated as they come forward. Thank you very much. And like I said, we are setting up my podcast. See, hang on, I'll give you the evidence here so people don't think that I'm there's my microphone, and if I sort of take you around to here, there's my console, there's a new computer. So yep, these are the big screens that we've got. So we're certainly getting the podcast underway to whereby members of the party will be able to come in through the screen, have on a one-to-one basis, which we've given them the option with the membership, and I'm looking forward to it because we can all create a constitutional think tank so that we can all have the courage and know that we have the law on our side before these usurpers tried to take us into a so-called republic, when in fact we've been in a de facto republic. We've departed from the laws of our great Commonwealth. So I'll leave it at that, and bye for now, and I better get and do some work. See you later.
There is a point when you cannot walk away, when you have to stand up straight and tall and mean the words you say. There is a point you must decide just to do it 'cause it's right. That's when you become a point of light. There is a darkness that everyone must face. It wants to take what's good and fair and lay it all to waste. And that darkness covers everything inside until it meets a single point of light.